there's a troubling report out on U.S. airline pilots. This new study shows pilots are making too many mistakes in the cockpit, and that can lead to disaster. As CBS News transportation correspondent Mark Strassmann reports.
Flying a commercial jetliner has become so automated that pilots are losing some of their flying skills. That's the conclusion of an aviation safety draft study. Too much emphasis on automation has caused pilots to get rusty. The study, released to the Associated Press, found that in more than 60% of accidents and 30% of major incidents, pilots made mistakes manually flying the plane or in how they used its automated controls.
When you become fully dependent upon this type of equipment and you don't have the full stick and rudder skills which we've traditionally taught our pilots, we get ourselves into a real bind.
And that can lead to tragedy. Case in point, the 2009 crash of a regional airliner in Buffalo, New York. 50 people were killed. Investigators blamed pilot error. He responded wrongly to a stall warning and pulled back on the control yoke instead of pushing forward to gain speed.
The captain did not have the appropriate skills or understanding of his equipment to get out of the emergency that he was in.
Do you want to try to land 1913?
We're unable. We may end up in the Hudson.
Captain Sully Sullenberger famously called on his manual flying skills in 2009. His U.S. Airways jet lost all engine power after a bird strike. In a moment of high drama, Sullenberger safely landed the plane on New York City's Hudson River.
I learned these very important fundamental skills very well. They were so deeply internalized that even after a span of 40 years, they were immediately accessible to me.
But advancements in automation technology have also boosted aviation safety. The worry is pilot complacency.
Pilots have become essentially monitors, especially during the cruise portion of long flights. And we're seeing them in certain circumstances not being capable of immediately and effectively intervening very quickly when something goes horribly wrong.
And many experts say the answer lies in more simulator training and more flight time experience before taking the pilot seat.
Our passengers deserve and expect that our crews will be able to handle whatever happens.
The last decade has been the safest era in the history of commercial flight. To keep it that way, a new study concludes more emphasis, not less, belongs on the pilot's mastery of his plane. Mark Strassmann, CBS News, New York.